Don't worry, you'll get to see me later. Just wanted to say some shit. The same thing I'm talking about, my brain never lets me rest. They didn't wait. I don't like you, and I'm supposed to meet my mom with Dennis, and I wasn't. They didn't wait though. They didn't wait. The amount of time they waited, because my mom got out early, was literally the time it took to walk down and knock on the door. And then the bitch has to say, "You were in that bathroom for over 20 minutes. We were waiting for you." Selena's like, she would have told her off, but I can't because I'm always trying to make the peace with these people in my mom's life, So what do? I write a 7-page handwritten letter saying I'm sorry, among other things, blah, blah, blah. And what do you think happens? And I have proof of this because I heard it from the on the phone, okay? When she's being all smug and talking about elder services and all this crap, and I try to be, and Selena's like, well, why'd you do that? Why you? Because I'm trying always to make the peace for the sake of my mother, Selena. That's why, you know that. So I'll grovel, I'll beg, I'll be vulnerable, I'll be open, and then people just use it against me. And going back to, I made a mistake. That first guy that this was my first ad ever out in college for a collaborator, and he stole my songs. I didn't get them back. I was naive. I handed him over 20 of my little babies, and he took them, and I never heard from him again. And then I dared meet another guy, and I just was suspicious of the way he was behaving. So rather than give him a chance to, because he was just acting suspicious. My friend drove, I didn't have a car, of course, you know that. But my friend drove me over there, and I was able to get I said, I want my songs back, give them to me now, before he had a chance to copy them or whatever. He was being evasive, and I just didn't trust him, just didn't trust him. And then when I had to drop out of college, I met Lawrence, and we did that one song that was my least favorite song. But remember, my dream was just to hear my song played out, okay? And we're not talking played on the radio, we're talking played out. And even Doug, yeah, he got me into bed even though he wore my resolve down, but I really, really liked him. But even he promised to do one song when he played, because he had a band and he played out. He didn't do it. Then this other guy had done the same thing, swearing up and down that he was gonna, he played out, and he was gonna do one of my songs. And in the end, he wanted me in bed. I had no interest in him whatsoever, okay? And he made promises. And the thing is, I actually ignited his fire, he told me. He's like, I was depressed. I wasn't writing at all ever since meeting you, Laura. I write all the time. And he shared new stuff he wrote with me. But do you think he could do one of my songs? Of course not. I helped be his muse, and my reward was for him to fuck me over because all he wanted was me in bed, okay? So that's the kind of shit I've had to deal with, and that is why I gave up on any dreams I had, because I did try, and I did try, and I did try, okay? I did try, and these were my younger years, okay? Even, even my dog fucked me over, making promises. And again, and I mean, these men would say, you have good lyrics, we like your song, I'm going to work with you, blah, 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 whatever. And then wouldn't follow through. Even Doug wouldn't follow through. And that's all I wanted, was just to hear one of my songs played out, by somebody professional. And I did meet these, like I said, the last final straw was that guy that he literally told me, you changed my life, Laura. I wasn't playing out anymore. I was depressed. I wasn't writing. And he had he had talent. And he had talent. He had a lot of talent. And I reignited his spark, his fire, and he couldn't reward me with just doing one song with me. Nope. He was concentrating on all his shit. And, of course, if you keep experiencing that, you just get defeated. So then I did my Alicia's World, but my Alicia's World wasn't, no one could hear me. No one could hear me. Beautiful baby. No one could hear me sing. On my news, I believe I shared song lyrics and poem lyrics and stuff. In fact, I know that I did. Okay. But it wasn't until YouTube that I could actually share my songs via me singing them. But you know what I mean? I did try because I don't do music. I don't do guitar, and I'm just going backwards. I don't do guitar, piano, all that. But you have to understand, I had not numerous, but enough to get me discouraged. The last time with that guy, he had the nerve to, he wanted me in bed. Oh, don't think I didn't know that. The way I looked back then, I was on the beach one time with him in a bikini, and I know he wanted me in bed. I think I stayed over his house one time, but I told him I'm not interested in you. I don't play games. I said, I am not physically attracted to you. I'm not interested in you. Same thing I did with that guy later, when I was at that job, that guy who thought that, talking about us being together and marriage and all that crap, the one that was 25 years older than me and morbidly obese, okay? I told him up front, I don't play games, all right? But then if a guy says, I just want to be your friend or whatever, I'm going to take him in his word, and then he's still trying to get me to bed, It's like, but this guy had the nerve to invite me to his show. Remember, he hadn't played out in a little coffee, whatever he did. He was really, really good. He was talented, really talented. But he was depressed, and he hadn't played out in 3 years, and I was his muse. Do you think he could reward me by doing one song with me, collaborating on one song? Of course not. Of course not. Because that's how people are, you see? Can't trust them. And back then they just wanted to fuck me. The guys just wanted to fuck me. They'd make promises, though, and get my hopes up. Oh, believe me, they would. They would. Until I finally fucking gave up. Because it wasn't worth it. Again, even my Doug did it, but I really felt a connection with him and really liked him. And I smothered down the fact that he made big promises too. He didn't follow through. Okay. But I didn't go to bed with him for that. I went to bed with him because I really liked him, But he did. I had told him up front. I told, I'm not gonna. I want to keep business and But he didn't. It didn't wind up happening anyway. But they would lead me on. They'd lie. They would lie. That guy strung me along on a string. I had no interest in him whatsoever. And I still have his name somewhere. And I told him off big time. Like, at least got to do that in a voicemail. Told him off. You have the nerve to invite me to come see your show where you're playing out. When you promised me and led me on, I'm going to do your song, Lord. We're going to do blah, 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 blah. Never did it, never did it, never did it. Because you're a selfish fucking asshole. Like most men I encounter. I want to be blunt. Yeah, I didn't just have guys in the beginning when I was in college steal my lyrics or try to, but also later I had them lead me on. Even my dog did it. But he also, he praised my brain, even though he wanted to fuck my body, because I'm the quintessential. I'm the big-titted, big-ass, tall, and back then didn't barely have an ounce of fat on me, blonde, okay? Blue-eyed blonde. Anyway, even Doug did it. He led me on. But in the end, he gave up his band anyway, so it didn't matter. And when I contacted him when I was breaking up with Donald, or getting near the end of my frosted relationship with Donald, when I contacted Doug, he's like, I haven't written anything in 10 years, Laura. See? So he gave it all up, and it dried up, and And I shared some of my poetry with him. He's like, you should go to Hollywood and read it in the streets. Yeah, that ain't happening. Even when I dared read it in a coffee shop, I got like silence. And that was Love Is Nothing, and that was really good. And no one even clapped, but they clapped for everybody else, you know? I know Love Is Nothing is a good poem, and nobody in that coffee shop clapped for me. But they clapped for the person that went on before me. I know the difference between something good and something bad, and Love Is Nothing is a good damn poem. No one clapped. I was so brave to get up there and read that in that coffee shop in Hollywood, and nobody fucking clapped.